Hey, welcome back to another episode of Controlling Narrative. I'm your host, Vernon Johnson, and I'm just glad you guys joined in, tuning in for another episode where we cover entertainment news for y'all people to share, and we bring on interesting guests for you guys to learn from, help share their experiences in Hollywood and the entertainment business uh, today. So we got a guest coming back on the show to share her experiences and what she's been going through and what she's doing now. We had a great conversation last time, and I thought it'd be a great idea to give you guys an update of what's going on in her career and what she's got coming next for you. We got the lovely Nicole Vegas. Hey, how you doing, Miss Vegas?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I didn't even have to change my clothes because I thought it was going to be like a video, but the video is having technical difficulties through that StreamYard right now. Bummer. Like, probably a
Oh,
blessing. Yeah, thanks for having me back. It's been a journey these past 2 years and 2 months, and I was like, oh, that's not long, but it felt long. There's so much going on. I mean, there's so many ins and outs and different avenues in the showbiz industry.
yeah, absolutely. And it's just hard to navigate through that, and just doing your everyday life. Like, tell the people how hard it is just trying to make it in Hollywood and what you consider a successful career being in the industry.
Well, might other people looking out into my life might think it's successful. I don't know yet. That's to be determined on my end. Um, so a lot of people have been trying. I mean, I've talked to people 5, 10 years in, and they're like, "How are you getting this? How are you getting the work?" Which it is. It's a lot of work. It's not just getting the gigs and getting the principal roles, but it's putting yourself out there. It's marketing. It's connecting with uh, people that have podcasts and talk shows and just marketing the heck out of yourself. Let's see the steps. Get to know the casting directors, any casting agents in your area, first of all. Look it up on the internet, connect with people that are also getting the gigs, see what they're doing, how they're doing it. And then find out ways of how you can make yourself known in the showbiz industry.
And what ways you've been making yourself known and connecting with your core audience?
Well, starters, I looked and connected with people that are in podcasts and talk shows. There's tons of groups. I'm more connected through Facebook than Instagram, which I have to work on. It's finding your niche. What social media platforms do you work better in? Like I have friends that are in TikTok. What else is there? Twitter. It depends what you're into, and you just keep building your clientele. You still network. Have your IMBD page. Do an IMBD page, put a bio in there, put some pictures up. Look into the Indiegogos that can give you an opportunity to be cast and get principal roles. Get your pictures done. Go to a good photographer that knows what they're doing and get maybe 2 to 3 different looks on yourself. So maybe a business look, a bad girl or boy or guy, whatever look, and then maybe a next door, like all around, average Joe kind of look. Go to acting classes. I took some out here in Las Vegas. So Frank Perillo, Dream Tracks Academy Acting School. Dream Tracks Academy is on Facebook. They have about 8,000 people on there right now. Frank Perillo. There's Paul Campanella. Paul Campanella is my first acting coach, and each one helps you put more tools in your toolbox.
So a lot of people, so they sort of winging it, and they may not think or feel acting classes are important. How much can you just reiterate the importance of taking acting classes and just learning the craft of acting and perfecting that craft?
All right. So people think they can just wing it, go for it. If it's doing well for you, go for it. And if not, take those acting classes. It's building your craft. It's knowing your character arc. It's knowing the history of your character. It's knowing the timing right when you're bringing your character in the scene. So if you have scenes with other people, you need to know your marks. You need to know not to upstage somebody. You need to know not to walk into other people's lines. I've had that happen to me. Really, like it takes time then, and it takes away from everybody getting that scene done. So you need to know your marks. You need to know the camera lenses. And you need to know the other people's dialogue, so you're not going into their dialogue or upstaging them where you're blocking them from the camera. So the crew's like, hey, you need to step back. You're in someone else's lighting. You need to know the techniques, know your craft.
How hard was that for you?
Well, since the first set I was ever on is I got bumped up with my first Taft Hartley. It was The Cleaning Lady, the TV series, which is very successful now. I get to go on a couple times, but for that first one, they paired me with this really young guy, and I was so confused. And I always share it with people. I was like, "Is this a cougar scene?" I guess it's what age you look like. So when you're auditioning, you don't have to go if it's 30 or younger, and you look at least 30 or younger, audition for it. It doesn't matter your age. It matters what you look like, what you can be cast as. And that part's important because those are like 12-hour sets, 15-hour sets.
Yes.
They're like, go to Mark 2. I had no idea what they were saying to me. Or reset, or whatever the lingo is. You need to know the lingo of the set.
Right. You need lingo. Lingo is important. So you got a part in a big film. So I got a couple questions about Back on the Strip.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Right. Keep pushed for the opening for the theater. I guess it's coming out in September now. It's supposed to be out in April. So yeah. I was a little bit more seasoned when I got bumped for that. With Kevin Hart. Like I said, so far he's been the best celebrity I've ever met. He's a people person. He was amazing. I've been on other sets where there were celebs and they sucked.
Right.
So disappointing. It's so disappointing.
Did you get a chance to watch the whole film?
Not yet, because it didn't come out yet. It comes out now in September, Back on the Strip. So if you look it up, what's weird about that, when they are advertising it, he's not even advertised in it, but he's in it. If you go on the IMDb, Kevin Hart, we're all in it. We're in this birthday party scene together. So I can't wait.
Who else is starring in that film?
Tiffany Hash, is it? Let me look. Wesley Snipes. Let me look it up. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch. I'm gonna drop some names in a second. It's called Back on the Strip. It's not out yet. But Kevin Hart, Wesley Snipes, Tiffany, is it Haddish? Haddish.
Yep.
Spencer Moore, Bill Bellamy. There's a lot.
And you named Kevin Hart as the biggest person you work with. I mean,
I worked with also Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
He was a people person. Like I thought he was going to be like all his things. Maybe he's too hyper focused. He's different in his reels and on the set. But nevertheless, he did make Vegas his home. I hope he does incorporate the Vegas talent, though. I don't know if he's going to be bringing in LA, and bringing in his cast and crew, or will he embrace some of the Vegas talent? So I haven't seen that yet, but my fingers are crossed for him. I would like that.
Wesley Snipes is a legend.
Wesley Snipes? Oh, yeah. I didn't work with him. I didn't get to work with him.
Yeah, but you have a collaboration with Wesley Snipes, and that's huge.
I'm excited because sometimes when you're in a film, like a SAG film, and you do get bumped, sometimes they will uncredit you if they don't use you in the film.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So I found that out too. I was really bummed about some of that. I was like, oh man.
Can you tell the people, since you mentioned SAG, how important it is for you to be a part of SAG and the difficulties you faced in getting SAG approved?
Well, I'm SAG eligible, but I don't know. I have to submit them myself because sometimes they don't update it with your Taft Hartleys or your SAG vouchers. So Noel G, I don't know if you know him from the Fast and the Furious Training Day. He's always typecast as Hector. He let me know, he's giving me advice. He goes, Nicole, don't pay for this. It's $3,200 if I want to do that one SAG. There's different SAGs, different levels. He says, don't do it unless you get a bigger name. So I'm still working on my name and putting myself more out there, because if not, you could still be SAG and nobody knows you. Yeah,
That's
there is
cool.
some benefits of SAG. There is some benefits where you can work union and you can get covered that way with health care. But I already have my own health care, so I don't need that. You won't get it taken away from you. So now me being non-union versus union, and we're on the same set, and there's a spot to bump somebody, they have to bump the union first
Right.
for
Okay.
that principal role. So that part gets a little political and all that stuff. So they did pay for getting secured a principal role over somebody that is not union. So there's union versus non-union, and then say if you're SAG, let's go. Say you bought SAG, but you're not getting the SAG roles. You're not getting any work through it. You can go FICOR, FICORE, FICOR, and that is working where you can work union and non-union gigs.
Okay.
Yeah. Just
Wow.
yeah, just something to look into. A lot of people don't know. There's so many different avenues of approach, and it can get really confusing. And then I found out about agents. I don't have my own agent. I do have Basco Talent Agency, which I have to do this dialogue. If I get it, it's like $750 a day for the principal role. Which if I get it, that's pretty good money. It's
Right.
decent. It's a start.
More than
Uh,
what definitely more than what I make.
Yeah, but you have to, I guess you can have an agent, only one in California. So pick wisely. Look into the contracts, what you're signing. How long is the contract for? Could it be a year, 6 months? I mean, do you have to go through them if you get other gigs? Be very careful with those contracts. Really protect yourself and know what you're signing yourself away for. That's another thing.
Right. So what people might not know that you was a part of the Air Force security force.
I was in military police back 2 decades ago. It's a long time
Right.
ago. But I do have the military training that but it's always different. You always have to keep up the training. I know a lot of people liked people that are in the military or in law enforcement. They like them for the sets. But the thing is, too, people have sent me scripts for being a detective or a police officer, and it didn't make sense to me. Like I was also a cop in North Las Vegas.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let people know out there who are maybe working a 9 to 5 and still working on their dream. Uh like how you did it, like how you just maintain your focus and becoming transitioning from.
Okay. All right. I know what you're saying. So, not just acting, I did. So, I decided to learn other areas in the profession. So, I learned and picked up stunts, took some stunt classes because the fighting techniques are different, the falling, catching on fire. So, you can, have a little bit more of an opportunity, not just being an actor or actress, learn stunts. Then also, I learned the crew side. Crew side's different. So, learn being a PA, learning grip, wardrobe, location manager, crafty. There's so many different avenues to putting more tools in your toolbox. Learn to wear many hats. Don't sell yourself short. It's only selling yourself short because there's going to be many other people that are working harder, longer, and they're learning different areas in the showbiz. So, I also learned to be a producer, which was a lot of work. I think that's the most work I ever done was being a producer.
A lot of work, a lot of attention to detail. Tell the
Oh,
people, tell the people where they can find you and where they can look at one of your films, your
all
latest
right.
film.
Yeah, the IMBD one is Nicole Butler the ninth. But if you type in Nicole Butler Vegas, things will pop up on Google. Nicole Vegas on Facebook. I believe it's Nicole Butler underscore Vegas for Instagram. And I just try to help connect people. There's always going to be upcoming projects. So if you want to get more involved, I would take the opportunity to do those pay to plays. Build your craft. You're going to have to pay for showcasing. You're going to have to pay for acting classes. Why not pay and actually be part of a film, get a principal role, and actually get to work with some celebrities that you normally probably wouldn't do being so new into the industry, or you're just not getting that opportunity, that chance. Because most of the time, you are going to have to bust your butt. You're going to have to really outshine people to get those other roles and have people make you memorable. You have to be memorable in this industry.
Right. So shout out all your social media handles so people can tap into what you're doing.
Yeah, and I can connect them since I do have Nicole's Vegas Views. I started my own talk show.
Vegas Views, and you haven't invited me on yet, but it's okay.
Oh, I'm gonna. I just started last week. I just started. I was doing that feature film, Desert Fiends. So Desert Fiends has the teaser trailer out. It's a horror comedy. I mean, I put that all together with Sean C. Phillips. That took so much work. Oh my goodness. And then my husband's father passed, so we went and flew out to New Jersey. And then I came back, and within this week, I was doing the interviews through, the computer that aren't here in Vegas. But then I set up a new studio on my own, so I don't have people telling me what to do, how to do it. I can run my own show the way I want, and no one's speaking for me, because I had people speaking for me saying, oh, she's busy. Maybe I wasn't busy. So I don't want people speaking for me.
Right.
Because So whenever you want to come on, I'd absolutely love to put a spotlight on you and connect you to other people, because I know you're also in showbiz.
Yes, I would appreciate it. I love to meet new people. I love connecting. I love just networking. I believe that's the biggest tool we got in entertainment industry is networking, and I try to never stop networking.
Yeah, and you do great. I've been following you. You're a supporter of other people, which I like. 'Cause I like supporting other people, and I feel I have more connections in Vegas right now, but I'm going to do some outreaching. So the people I know here, I'd love to introduce you to, and vice versa. I mean, I wouldn't know, New York City or Atlanta. Georgia has a lot of a hub there for movies. New Mexico, California, it's all connecting together. But I'd love to be global. There's so many people that want to act overseas that usually can't, but they can. I do know a way, if they don't have their working visa, that they can do those Indiegogo perks and get in that way and build a resume that way.
Yep, that's good information. That's good information. I'm glad to have you on again.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry to cut the show short, but I've been trying to keep my shows under a half an hour. Under half an hour. So
I don't know what time it is. It's different. I usually don't do these ones. I usually can see you. We can interact that way. So this is new to me.
No, it's okay. It's all right. People can I'm actually uploaded as an audio as well, so people could just listen to it in their car, and that's a good thing. You can listen to it on the move and get this information while you're gone.
Yeah, all very good information. So thank you so much.
Don't forget, follow Nicole Vegas. We glad to have you again. On Instagram, Nicole Butler Vegas, Facebook, and did you get a Twitter yet?
I didn't. I didn't do a lot of things. People were like, "Get it going, Nicole." I'm like, I'm trying. Little baby steps for me, because I get pulled in so many different directions. But if I can help somebody, if I can connect them to each other, absolutely connect with me, so I can at least connect people to the people that are collaborating on things that maybe aren't for me and they could be for somebody else. I can't do it all. That's the way it works.
Absolutely. Thanks for the updates, and check her out on her upcoming movie, Back on the Strip, which is coming this September, featuring Kevin Hart. Thanks for having you. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Control the Narrative. Let's have a good time on this. My mic on? Hey, yo, I'm going to run right through this. Hey, yo, I've been kept under wraps. Blacks to the back. Gray Green Bay tee. Green and yellow cap. I was probably busting the trap.